Okay, so it's been kind of a crazy week for the MCU and Marvel fans and comic book movie fans in general. We had Deadpool, which just almost hit $500 million in just the opening weekend, which is absolutely insane. Really, really enjoyed that movie a lot. We went ahead and did our spoiler discussion on Storms Live, which is up on the channel right now. If you guys want to go check out our thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine, just phenomenal movie in my opinion. But ComicCon was also this weekend, and the big bombshell that hit was Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play Doctor Doom. And when I first heard this news, my first initial impression was disappointment, but open. I'm like, well, I'm gonna hold all judgment until I see it in action. It's one thing to say something, it's another to see how it works, because the Russo brothers are coming back, and the Russo brothers really have never done anything that I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that, that's awful, in the MCU. The Russo brothers has always been on point. They know the source material, they know what they're doing. So when they announced Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play Doctor Doom, my knee-jerk reaction, I just like much of everybody on the internet, was I don't know about that. A lot of people are calling it desperate. A lot of people are saying all types of different things about Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play Doctor Doom. And then when I thought about it, I was like, well, it might make sense. But the problem was, I feel like a lot of people who are reacting to it didn't see the whole video from San Diego Comic-Con, because they didn't say Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Tony Stark to play Doctor Doom. The Russo brothers literally said that there's only one man that can play Victor Von Doom, and that was Robert Downey Jr. They specifically said Victor Von Doom. They did not say Doctor Doom. They did not say Tony Stark as Doctor Doom. They said Victor Von Doom. And I think that the majority of the people, about 70% of the people that are reacting to this online, misses that very, very important statement, right? My buddy Danny was like, I'm going to go read the What If comics and all that. But the problem is, in the What If comics, if they exist, I don't know if Iron Man was Doctor Doom in the comics. Maybe it was. But the problem is, that is Iron Man. If they do exist in the comics, if Iron Man is Doctor Doom at some point in the comics, then that is Iron Man, Tony Stark as Doctor Doom. The Russo brothers said on stage, Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Victor Von Doom. They didn't say a Tony Stark variant. They didn't say an Iron Man variant. They specifically said Victor Von Doom, and I think a lot of people are missing that very, very important information right there. Now, could this be something where it's a bait and switch? Like, oh, hey, you know what? We were going to have him play Victor Von Doom, but he's really going to just play a Tony Stark variant. Me, personally, I think the Tony Stark variant makes way more sense than him actually playing another character altogether. Because when you look back at the first Avengers film, he had real bad PTSD, and it messed him up mentally. And he went into Age of Ultron to create basically an iron shield around the world to protect it against the threats that exist out in space. He was obsessive with that. So to me, the guy who created Ultron, because he was so obsessed with protecting the world, could also, in another reality, get so obsessive with trying to protect the world that he loses it a little bit and he becomes Doctor Doom. Now that I can see as a very good story point. Like, you have this variant Tony Stark, he kind of lost it a little bit, he became Doctor Doom, somehow he got to this reality and he's causing havoc, and I can really see that. When if you break it down that way, it makes a lot of sense. The problem is that the Russo brothers specifically came out and said that he was playing Victor Von Doom. And that is a completely different person, a completely different character. There is no What If comic that has Robert Downey Jr. playing Victor Von Doom. There's comics out there that is Iron Man as Doctor Doom, but this is a completely different character. This is like Cottonmouth playing Blade. It's a completely different character. It wasn't Cottonmouth became Blade. It was Cottonmouth, the actor Mahershala Ali, is now playing Blade. Same thing with Emma Chan, who was in who was in, I believe, Captain Marvel 1, and then ended up being Cersei and the Eternals. It's two completely different characters. So the Russo brothers came out and said, no, he's playing Victor Von Doom. I don't want to play the clip. Don't want to get copyrighted. You guys can go check it online. The Russo brothers clearly said there's only one man that can play Victor Von Doom. Now, this is where I start to go, man, I don't know. Right? I feel like Marvel, to me, this feels like a DCEU move. This is something that Warner Brothers would have tried to pull about 10, 11 years ago, where they just let the actors and directors just run roughshod on the whole production, and no one steps in and goes, well, that really don't make sense. This feels like a DC move, if you want me to be completely honest. I like Robert Downey Jr. I think he's fantastic as Iron Man. As an actor, I understand that he's like, I did everything I could possibly do with the Tony Stark character. I would like to come back as another character. And I understand he wants to challenge himself. He's been away for a few years. He won an Oscar for Oppenheimer. He wants to challenge himself. But if he's going to play a completely different character like Victor Von Doom, then he has to become something completely different. He would either have to change his face a little bit so he doesn't look so much like Tony Stark. Maybe he just keeps the mask on at all times. And then when we start to kind of break that down, the real question is, well, if they're going to change his face or make him wear a mask the entire time, why didn't they just cast a different actor? Why Robert Downey Jr. in that spot? And that is a real problem. I can think of 3 to 4 actors right now who would be a phenomenal Doctor Doom, whether it be Hugo Weaving, Adam Driver, Michael Fassbender, like phenomenal actors that could play Doctor Doom. And even Henry Cavill could fill that role of Doctor Doom. And yes, I know Hugo Weaving was Red Skull in the MCU, but again, he had prosthetics on and all that stuff. He's going to be behind the mask. It's completely different than a character that when you look at Robert Downey Jr., you think Iron Man. When you look at Robert Downey Jr., the first thing you think of is this guy, Tony Stark, Iron Man. You do not think of Doctor Doom. And that is going to be a huge thing. The reason why I am not completely like just trashing this idea is because we don't have all the details right now. We don't have all the details. Did the Russo brothers misspoke? Is he actually playing Tony Stark variant that is Doctor Doom? Is he really going to play Victor Von Doom? How is that going to look? So we just don't really have the details. We just have a few seconds that we've seen on ComicCon stage where they said Victor Von Doom, he comes out and he does this pose that is just plastered all over the internet right now. And I think it's very important for people to kind of hold judgment until we see the final product. I can understand our knee-jerk reaction going, I don't like this, because that's my knee-jerk reaction. I'm like, I don't like this. Desperate, sure, I can go with that. To me, it feels like it's no different than in wrestling, the ratings start slipping. So, hey, we got to bring a WWE legend back in order to boost up the ratings. Hey, somebody cue Stone Cold's music or The Rock's music, or let's get John Cena. It very much feels like that. Like, hey, we're starting to lose the audience a little bit. Let's bring John Cena back for a couple matches leading up to SummerSlam or something like that. That's what it sort of feels like in terms of the wrestling world. That's sort of what it feels like. But I am going to hold judgment because we don't have enough information now, right? He could very much well play Victor Von Doom, and who knows, he might surprise us and wear the mask the entire time. Or he might be a variant Tony Stark. We just do not know. All we have is the clip of the Russo brothers saying Victor Von Doom, Robert Downey Jr. coming out, putting his arms up. We just do not have enough information to lean one way or another. I think people get so carried away on the internet, whether it be social media, YouTube, like, oh my God, this sucks, blah, 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 blah. And they eat their words time and time again. Going all the way back to the 80s when Michael Keaton playing Batman. Oh my God, it's going to suck. Now people love him. Oh, Ben Affleck is Batman. Oh my God, it's gonna suck. Heath Ledger's Joker. Oh my God, it's gonna suck. Robert Pattinson as Batman. Oh my God, it's gonna suck. And then once again, people are automatically casting judgment on this, and it's okay to be skeptical. It's perfectly fine to be skeptical, but let's not act like the world is dying. Let's not act like the sky is falling until we see what they're doing. And then during the final product, we can judge it like, was this a good move? Was this just for desperation to bring in the ratings? Like, what was the purpose? Is it really absolutely necessary? We do not know because we do not have the facts. We're not sitting in the meeting room. It is very apparent to me that Marvel is completely aware of their shortcomings lately because Deadpool pretty much just said it all right outright. And that goes past Kevin Feige. And it does not get approved unless Kevin Feige is completely aware of the problems. And I think they took the whole situation with Jonathan Majors, and they're like, okay, we can course correct now. And you can see them bringing the Russo brothers. I think next year we'll get confirmation that Chris Evans is coming back to play Magneto. That's a joke. Let's not hope that happens. But I think next year we will get confirmation that Chris Evans is going to come back. I don't think they announced it this year because they didn't want to kind of knock out steam for the upcoming Captain America Brave New World movie. It's really bad if you're trying to promote that for February and you announce Chris Evans coming back. That's horrible PR. So I think they're going to wait till next summer to announce Chris Evans coming back. But again, I just think everybody just kind of needs hold judgment until we actually see what is going on. But I am there with you. I definitely feel like my first initial impressions was this is completely unnecessary and I don't think they need to do it. But I am willing to give it the benefit of the doubt and see where the Russo brothers go. If it wasn't for the Russo brothers, if it was anyone else that was doing it, I would be even more concerned. But since it's the Russo brothers, I am willing to wait it out and see what they're going to try to tell in terms of story. But that's just my thoughts on it. I think a lot of people just overreact a lot, and we don't have enough information one way or another to overreact. We need to let it play out and just really kind of see for ourselves. But that's just my thoughts on it, guys. I want to know what you guys think. Please be respectful in the comments. Smash that like button if you haven't already done so. And thank you guys so much. As always, I am Robert Storms, and that's my opinion. Later, guys.